the next President of the United States, Khalid Bandib.
My fellow Americans, Assalamu alaikum. First, I'd like to thank Dr. Hatem Bezian for inviting me to his fantastic, fabulous cafe, the Muckrakers Cafe. What an excellent, perfect name. I don't know if you have seen in today's paper, the New York Times, if any of you read this newspaper, there was an article about my presidency. Did you see it? My candidacy, I meant, sorry. I'm anticipating. You don't read the New York Times? Well, let me share with you a few paragraphs from the article. See what these inveterate Islamophobes have to say about me. It's titled, America's First Muslim President, ? Muslim American cartoonist throws his fez in the ring. In a year when America may see for the first time either the first woman president or the first black leader of the free world, what are the odds for a first Muslim commander-in-chief? After carefully testing the waters for months, the newly declared candidate today started pounding the pavement, mindful to not appear too stereotypically violent or too anti-pavement. According to anonymous but reliable sources, turning swords into plowshares will be at the heart of the candidate's foreign policy. Box cutters, machetes, ginsu knives will turn any sharp-cutting implements into organic food-cultivating instruments, declared the President of Fez, whose campaign slogan is, "The pen is funnier than the sword." According to Mr. Bandib, disarming the enemy through the power of laughter is the best defense. Ours will be the funniest, most hilarious administration in American history, asserts the candidate with a straight face, no joke. Skeptics, however, are quick to point out that having already turned the United States into the world's laughing stock over the past 7 years, the current administration may be a tough act to follow, comedically speaking. How does Khalid Bandib propose to outdo the clowns currently occupying the White House? The answer, according to candidate Bandib, will be to make the rest of the world laugh with us instead of at us, as has been the case for too long. End of quote. See what they say about me. It's never too positive, you know. Well, brothers and sisters, what would a Bandib presidency mean to you, my fellow American? You could ask this question, and some people have been asking me, where is the beef? And more importantly, is the beef halal? Which is kosher for Muslims, as you know. To give you an idea of my positions on the issues, let me share with you a few planks from my presidential platform, if I may. Is that okay? On government waste and pork barrel spending. As a self-respecting Muslim, you can guess how I feel about pork. I'm not crazy about it. On the environment, green is the color of Islam. Need I say more? On foreign trade, I, the President of Fez, will guarantee the free flow of Danish goods into the US, with the exception of political cartoons, of course. On education, pens, not guns. Books, not bombs. Math instruction, not mass destruction. On the Patriot Act, once elected, I will act like a patriot and repeal the Patriot Act. On the use of torture, if you absolutely have to obtain information, tickle, don't torture. Amuse, don't abuse. Be clever and cute, don't electrocute. On nuclear proliferation, Islam is a religion of peace, and America is a peace-loving nation. So instead of bombing Iran, the President of Fez will shame the Islamic Republic into voluntarily abandoning its nuclear ambitions. How will I do that? By leading by example, we will demand the dismantlement of all nuclear weapons everywhere. starting with the world's largest arsenal, our own, putting back the non into non-proliferation. About Palestine and Israel. What is good for the goose is good for the gander. A strict even-handedness will be my policy. If we give Israel $30 billion, we'll do the same for the Palestinians. 30 billion to Fatah and 30 billion to Hamas. And for those who think I'm favoring the Palestinians, think again. By the time you factor in Mahmoud Abbas' Swiss bank accounts, the Palestinian people will receive just about the correct amount. And finally, on Guantanamo Bay, render unto Fidel what belongs to Fidel. Have the Cubans dismantle the torture center and build something more positive there, like a dental school or something. In closing, sadly, Islamophobia runs deep in America today and has been used as an excuse for preemptive wars, domestic spying, torture, the suspension of habeas corpus, and the erasure of so many of our most treasured constitutional freedoms. What better way to bring back our precious liberties and to rid us once and for all of the exaggerated fear of Islam than to elect a Muslim for president? President Kennedy did not bring the Vatican into the White House, as initially feared, and as your president, I will not bring Mecca into the Oval Office. To paraphrase another great president before me, the only thing we have to fear is the fear of Islamophobia itself. God bless America. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.